Greetings and thank you for joining us on the weekend edition. My name is Nora Sunday, and this Sunday evening we get to talk about financial literacy. Financial literacy is a subject that is very important in our lives. It will help us to progress faster. It will help us to get whatever we need. It's just a good way of living, really. Unfortunately, sometimes we think that financial literacy is something that you will pick along the way, as you know, in life. But it needs deliberate study. It needs deliberate knowledge acquisition, and then putting into practice, and then overall mindset, behavior, and behavior change. Well, with me in studio today, I have Edgars Muhimbo, who is a financial literacy coach, and he's here. He's no stranger to the studio. Actually, he's here once again to actually give us more detail and discussion as we have this conversation on financial literacy. You're welcome, Edgars.
Thank you so much, Nora, for having me once again. As you've heard, my name is Edgars Muhimbo. I'm a financial literacy certified master trainer by BOU, and I'm glad to be here speaking to you. Today we talk about one of the key components of financial literacy, and that is savings. And the whole discussion is about making money your friend. Mm-hmm. So that is what we're going to discuss.
Yes, yes. I'm really excited for this very discussion, because saving is one of those things that we find is very important, but yet sometimes it's really hard to live up to it. I mean, the year is now coming to a close, really. And then we're going to start off a new year. But some of the things on our list every single year, resolution, is like save money for this, and then save, and then have more money, and then save. Sure. And then following it up at the end of the day becomes really a daunting task. Sure. But when you look at it, some of us really don't really understand what saving means. We could start with that. Just give us a detailed definition, a little bit about what exactly that saving entail. What does it mean when someone says, okay, this year is just a year for saving for me?
Thank you. Did you have a saving plan for this year?
Yes.
Have you made it? Okay. So, saving, what is saving? Saving is a practice of putting aside part of your current earnings for future use. We know as we earn money, there are obligations that fall due on a daily, on a monthly basis. As much as it might seem that there are so many obligations than the money that comes into your hands, it doesn't make savings less necessary. In any case, to change that situation, you actually need to start sacrificing. And that is what it means, putting aside some funds that you receive today for future use. And it's not done once, but over a period of time. And you'll have to make some sacrifices of current enjoyments to save for a better future. You might need to stay with your hair for more 2 months just because you want to save. So that is a sacrifice that you're making. But I can assure you it is part of life transformation. Right. Because that money that you've saved, if you stick to your saving goal or plan, it will definitely come to save you at a certain point. Right. So saving is very important. It's a starting point of our financial freedom. If you can't save money today, then there's no money to save you tomorrow. That is how I can summarize it. I
think that is very important, really. And that definition that you have just given us, it kind of gives you a glimpse into what really savings is. Because some people have an attitude that because they have, they're earning little money, what they call little money, there is really no room for saving. But according to what you're saying is that it's a sacrifice, It's a sacrifice that you make with the earnings that you get, no matter how little, put aside for tomorrow.
True.
And Edgars, there is something that is mentioned there about how you cannot be liberated financially if you don't save. Financial freedom. I just want us to understand a little bit about some of the benefits of savings. There's some that are really obvious as someone says, okay, like, you know, your money really grows, but you can also give us a little more glimpse about what are some of these benefits we get? Because at the end of the day, someone feels like that sacrifice is really huge, and the discipline to keep with it sometimes, when you don't think about the benefits you're getting out of it, then sometimes it's really a daunting task.
Yes. I want to go back a little bit on how you save, because I strongly believe one of the key messages that we have to take from this is that most of us are not in control of how our salary, our earnings will grow. But we are so much in control of the money that lands on our account. Living with the thought that when my money grows, I will start to save or save more is a lie. Because you do not have control over that. What if it doesn't happen in the next 10 years? So it is important for us at this point in time to sit down, evaluate our lives and say, where do I want to go? So the most important thing is to have a goal. If you do not have a goal, saving then does not become something that is necessary. But if we have a goal, where we started from, part one of our engagement, our discussion was introducing financial literacy. And in that there was personal financial management. In personal financial management, you set your goals, you set a budget. And when you set the budget, within the budget, you're also allocating where will I get the money. You already know where you're getting, you already know some other things that you can do outside what you've been doing to get money. But even as you increase that money, if you don't commit to save, then it will not serve the purpose. So we must have a goal as one of the things that is going to encourage you to continue saving. But beyond the goal, there are some things that fall, emergencies that come. You're coming to work and maybe you get an accident and you have to go to the hospital. You don't have to make 10 calls for all the people to know your problems. That would actually call for you to go to your account, pick money, pay for that bill. So it's saving. Another reason is emergency. You will have those emergencies and they keep coming. Your parent has fallen sick, school fees. These emergencies, you need to have something that is saved up for that. So to avoid borrowing, you also save to avoid borrowing, because if every time you're going to get a challenge and all you're thinking of is, I have to borrow, what if the people that have to give you money are not willing to give you the money? Then it will be very hard. Either you lose the opportunity or you actually get more into trouble if you're in trouble already. So we need to have some money to help us, bail us out when we have an opportunity comes. Okay, this is more in terms of opportunity. Savings are the best way to pay for day-to-day costs like school fees, clothing, medical charges, and it's better to save for such expenses than to borrow. You don't want to borrow because there is now a wedding coming and you want to get a new dress. Unnecessary debt. That is really unnecessary debt because it's not adding money in your pocket. So we've talked about emergencies. Those ones you don't have control over. Then for special events, I may not have had a birthday celebration this year, but next year I might want to really have birthday with my children. It is okay. So if I have not had money this year, but next year I can be deliberate that I'm going to make that one happen. We'll celebrate a birthday for my mother or father. They are making maybe a special 50 years, 75 years. You really want to make them feel special. You're not going to do it every year, but you want to do it. So a special event like that will mean you plan ahead of time. I'm not going to wait when it's 1 month to birthday, but I can say you definitely know the birthday of your parents. So why wait? Just know if it's in August next year, the budget is 800, I have to save 100,000 every month till August. And that makes a very huge budget or some big goal broken into small pieces achievable. So if you have a special event, you will need this. That's why saving becomes important. So those and many other reasons are the reasons we save. But at the heart of it is that no transformation, no change happens in your life without you making a sacrifice of saving.
Right. Right. Yeah. It all goes down to having a sacrifice. Yeah. Well, saving really does have a lot of benefits when you look at it. The other benefit that I would really think about also is just having that peace of mind, knowing that whatever happens,
you're sorted.
I'm sorted. Yeah. Please, you know, I'm not going to really be stressed. Just having that at the back of our minds. It is something that actually also needs very good discipline. The way you say it. It needs really very good discipline. And I'm wondering, what would you advise someone who is really struggling to have this discipline of saving? They really want to, but for example, he'll go to maybe a boutique and see a nice dress and he can't like really resist. But they have at the back of their head that they really need to save. And they have this goal that at the end of the year, I want to have this plot of land or buy this. What advice would you give such a person? Is there some way of forced savings they can get into?
And hearing that coming from a lady, I know it's a big struggle. For a man, it's very hard. We control our impulse purchases, but ladies, I know. And that is why these are some of the things that you can do to help you. Yeah. Save as much as you can as soon as you earn or can. If you receive your salary, if you're going to walk with that 100,000 through the streets or arcades of Kampala, it's going to look like every cloth is, and it's something that you need, that it's like urgency.
Exactly.
Or you pass by Cafe Javas for the first time, the aroma comes strong. So you need to, but if you have gotten 20,000 from there, as a must, just know, put a percentage and say 10 to 20% I'm saving you. I'm not taking you with me. If you don't carry the money, then you will have saved it. Actually, the word saving means you're rescuing someone. So this 100,000 is all there, being looked at by lions of expenses. And you're saying, no, I'm saving this 20. You're not going to be eaten by the wolves of expenses. So that is the actual meaning of saving, that you take away that part painfully and say, I'm going to look at you in future.
Right.
So when you do that, to do that, make sure as soon as you earn, you do save. This can be done through a standing order, or you can use in banks, there are platforms, mobile platforms, where you can transfer money from your savings account or your salary account to savings. Then save as you earn. Of course, one by one makes a bundle. Sometimes it seems discouraging to tell you to save and buy maybe a cow or goat at the end of the year. It seems 500 is a lot of money. But all I'm telling you is just simply save about 50,000 every month. Okay, that is too much. Save 20,000 every month. It seems it's going to take you too long to reach your goal, but that is what is necessary. The discipline, repeated 20 every month, goes to 240, and at the end of the year, you can actually achieve your goal of buying that goat. And I can assure you, a person who buys that goat, you have all earned 100,000. Another one has saved 20,000 every month religiously for 12 months. Will get the 240, buy a goat. You will start the year when you're at 0, he's at a goat. By end of year, it is not one goat. So the transformation that we seek to achieve through these talks of financial literacy is to tell you, yes, you can. And if you can hold this for 1 year, then it becomes your character, it becomes a habit, and then your life will be transformed. And the unfortunate bit is that the person who has missed out, saved maybe for 2 months, they're all earning 100,000 in January. The other one saves 3 months and says, this one has failed, and gives up. The other one saves for the full year, buys a goat. Next year, you're starting at different levels. It will be very hard to catch up with the other person, because the other person has already gotten the discipline. So he's going to also continue the following year, buy another goat. So in other words, in 2 years, the other person would have gone way ahead, not because they are earning so much, but because they were able to sacrifice the 20,000. And you can see how the 20,000 really transforms this person's life and earnings. So it is very important not to think of how much you're saving, but how often you're saving. That is what is important. It is not, even if it is 1,000, it is not the money that you're saving that has the value. It is the habit that you build in saving regularly that is important. And once we achieve that, then it grows into something that has become our habit. Every year you continue doing it, and people's lives change. Not because of how much they will earn, just like where I started, but what they decide the money to do for them. And one of the things you need to be intentional on is to decide that this money is going to be saved for a purpose, and you stick to that purpose. Then pay yourself first. 10% of your earnings aside for savings before you do anything else. If you can't afford the 10% right away, start with less than that. But as I said, start with something. When you go to schools and all those other places, and the person tells you, I can't save anything, it's not true. You can, because even a 500 saved every day is money. So I don't want us to emphasize on how much you're going to save. Let's start with baby steps. Save as little. Imagine if we committed to saying, I'm saving 500 every week. It seems like it's a useless goal, but do it every week. You're 2,000. Do it every month. That is another 2,000 coming. Do it for a full year. How much money will that be? It might be 24,000. It's little, but it can start something. It can buy something that can actually, maybe it is a small bird, a chicken or something that you bring and put in your compound. It can multiply.
Yes.
So I'm more interested in the habit of saving. Then calculate how your money can grow over time. Don't carry cash with you. Some of us have mobile money, keep removing that money. Put it in a place where it is going to inconvenience you to get that money.
So when we are surrounded by cash in a way, like we are always carrying cash around, it's very tempting in a sense.
Cash by nature will always fight to get out. You cannot suffocate it in your wallet, in your bag. So by you try to put it in a place where it will feel free. When you put it on account, save it somewhere, it will feel safe. But every time it goes in public, it also wants to come out before you. So you are fighting for your face to be seen or your money. So you can imagine what is happening. The money is on that battle. I should come out before I see your face. Now, most likely it will win because it will go where you're seeing and it will reach there. And people will see it and touch it, and you will be the loser. So do not carry money if you want to avoid temptation. Spend less to save more. If you start saving from 120,000, you will actually, after 6 months, it will become something you enjoy. And you might even grow to put 30,000. Not because the money has again increased, it's still 100, but now you're beginning to see that the goal is becoming achievable. And maybe you even want to pull before the end of year, let me buy my goat. So you find people who have done this over a period of time, they begin to even save more than what they were saving. Not because the money has necessarily increased, but because the discipline has started to take ground and even the roots. Now it starts to become your part of life. So spend less and then save more. Spend carefully. Have a budget. And sometimes it's important to know how much I'm going to earn and buy things in bulk. If I'm earning 100,000, instead of buying a quarter sugar every time, I can say now let me go and buy 2 kilos. And this maybe will reduce on my expense. Because you realize a quarter, if you multiply the money that you spend to buy an equivalent of 2 kilos in quarters is an extra 3,000 or 4,000. So if you can have a budget, it helps you now to look at buying things in bulk, and that will help you save your money. Keep 3 to 6 months living expenses in emergency at all times. This is hard, but it's important. As you save, you actually, the first 6 months or 3 months, you're building an emergency fund. Those are not savings. That's why we get issues. Say, but I've saved, I got a problem. Because you are not saving. Those are not saving for gold, it's emergency. So you must know that, separate your savings from emergencies and know that, yes, I'm saving 50,000, but the 20,000 is the only amount available for emergency of that 50,000. 30,000, I should never touch it until the year has ended. So that gives you the freedom. Keep emergency fund, if possible, in a different account. You can open an account in a bank, Centenary Bank, and you have another NSSF kind of fund. You put there also your emergency fund. So you separate the accounts. Otherwise, when you keep the things together, you're likely to have issues. And I'm also aware guys who are doing business, people who are doing business, will also get the same challenge, keeping the business money with the saving. It never happens. Savings must be savings. If you mix them with your business, then you're going to get a good business deal, pick it, and it becomes hard to replace the savings. So keep savings. I told you of a story of people who have gone ahead to even do metallic boxes to make sure they put a savings so that they'd never get tempted.
Right.
The thought of knowing that I have to go to the welder to cut this. But it shouldn't be that in this day and era. Digital savings available. Save in a bank. Don't pick the ATM card if you feel that is a savings account, and you know how inconveniencing it will be for you to go and pick the money. So it will help you.
Right.
Find savings products that match your goal. There are so many products out there, both by banks and other financial institutions. Find products that actually meet your goal. If your goal is one year to buy goats, to buy land in 5 years, find a product that is actually going to help you. There are banks, I know, like Centenary, they have a Center Plus account. You open that account, no monthly charges. It allows you to accumulate your money. So you can have a salary account and a Center Plus account. Keep your money growing on the other account. And that will help you because that will have some interest. I think next I will talk about a saving plan, but maybe if you have another concern.
No, that has been really very elaborate, really. And I feel like these principles, once followed, they can actually get you to where you want to be, or even further. One thing that really I was wondering is that the principles, are they intertwined with how to make money your friend, or these are just a standalone?
These are rule of thumbs, they are principles. It's all intertwined.
It's intertwined.
If you want to make money your friend,
yes,
then money has to stay with you. How does it stay with you? By saving it.
Right.
So we are telling you, pay yourself first. You're keeping the money with you. It's your friend. If it's not your friend, you will always want to pay it to other people.
Give it away.
By the way, when I ask you how much you earn, if it's, for example, 100, the unfortunate bit is you're going to tell me it's 100, but it's not how much you earn, because your landlord takes them. Before, it's only that it's not direct tax, but let's look at actually the deductions that come from that 100. Your landlord is taking money. As you go on the road, the tax is taking money. You're making a call, telecoms are taking money. All these people are taking your money before you touch it. Why do you allow them? So we're telling you, pay yourself first, save the money, make it your friend. Because if you keep giving it out like that, and it's not that you want, but these things are inevitable. You have to pay transport, but you imagine the level of generosity that you want to pay others before you pay yourself. So all we're saying, can you be kind enough, generous to yourself, and say, no, from the 10,000, this 1,000 is mine, and no other person is going to see it in this economy until I decide to invest it in something. So that is a discipline. That is also, it's a summary in that statement. Make money your friend. Start looking at money as something that you need to reach your goal, and give it to yourself before you give it to any other person.
Wonderful, really wonderful. The next topic or the next discussion that you wanted to hint on is basically about, I'm forgetting, sorry.
The plan.
The plan.
We must have a saving plan. We've said all these things.
Yes.
But a plan lays out, what do I do to actually achieve the savings? Because everyone is wondering, how do I actually save? So the first thing is you must plan to earn. So you need to establish, where am I going to get money to save? Because without earning, then we are wasting time discussing it.
There's no way of saving.
So the people that I'm talking to here, I want to believe that you have deliberately chosen to offer a service, to offer a product, because that's the only way you get to earn. So if you decide to offer a product, please do not do it for free, except when it is absolutely necessary. But I'm sure even when you do it for free today, tomorrow, I strongly believe there will always be a payback. Everything that you give, in always many ways, it comes back to you, probably in tenfold. So let's be careful of what we give. Even the bad things we give do come back to us in many folds.
True.
But so the most important thing is to earn. Let's strive all to be economically productive. Wherever we are, even if you're in the village, if you're a graduate, a youth, do not say that I've now graduated, I'm waiting for a job. Start doing something. Wash the car for your parent at least, and then ask them to pay you. Do something, and the money will find you doing something.
Sure.
But do not wait for money to come for you to start doing something. That is very key, especially in this day and era. The degree is not what the market wanted. Yes, graduated people are happy, but people need some service. And the washing bay can be there. A boda can be there. A service can be there. Have something that you can do with your hands.
Right.
Do not fold your hands and say, graduated, I'm waiting. Wait when you are in action. And once you do that, you will have started earning. Now we will have a saving plan. Start from earning. When you have the earnings, you've established, I'm going to get 100,000. The next step is expenditure. Planning, how am I going to spend my 100,000? If you're earning 100,000, do not go for rent of more than 20% of that. That is 20,000. Look for a house of 10,000. Of course, I'm just using 100,000. I don't think there's a house of 10,000. But maybe in the villages could be there.
Yeah.
But do not spend much on the rent, because it's not adding value to you as of that time. So plan your expenditure. Of the 100,000, we are going to talk about the 50-30 rule, that the basic needs, clothing, rent, movement, should not take more than 50% of your earnings. Then the other 30% should be things that you want. That now I want a watch, I need to change hair. But then the 20,000, the 20% should have already gone into savings. Then you go to your basics, then the 30%. So you realize that is 100%. You realize that if you pay yourself 20%, that is 20,000, pay your rent and everything 50%, you're left with 30%. Now that is money you can play with. I want to buy more data. The things that do not affect your living, but you're just adding on. Another cloth, another shirt, you might not necessarily need it. So you realize a person who now sticks to a saving, he can even increase the other 20 to 40. Because I might say, I'm not going into any wants. I've paid my rent, I have my transport, I have food. That is all. All the rest of the money, I'm saving it. But when we're saying do not treat yourself like a slave. Save 20, spend 50%, the other 30%, also enjoy yourself. There will be family because as you start working. So that is in wants. They are not basically your things. So plan your expenditure. We've started with earning, plan your expenditure. Then see your earnings minus your expenditure, what are you left with? You should always be left with a minimum of that 20% to save. Where and how will I save? Know where are you going to keep the money. If you keep it under the mattress, rats might eat it. Under the bed, someone might pick it. Please use financial institutions to keep this money. I've told you there are products, accounts that you can open to save your money. How will I track my savings? If you go to the banks, most of the banks will give you at least 3-month statement for free. If you save your money on their account, they will always show you how you're saving. And you can see how you're progressing. But most importantly, even some other banks, like Centenary, when you deposit money, they will always show you how much you've put and the total, which is very important for you to know how much you're progressing. So that is the saving plan. Know where you're going to get the money, plan how you're going to spend it. You know your net, the net after removing the expenditure, and where you're going to save and track your savings. That is a plan.
Very nice. It seems simple, but really you have to follow through and be very, We
must, because there's no option. As long as you live, emergencies will be there, trouble will be there, good things will continue to come. Unfortunately, if you have not saved, trouble will hit you hard, good things you'll only be a spectator. You'll never participate in good things because they require money.
Indeed. Are those your closing remarks as we wind out the show? Really, we could give something to someone out there about saving, maybe an encouragement, or among what you've said, you could pick up 1 or 2 things just to close off as we wind up.
It is a simple statement. Save. The money is crying. Save me today so that I can save you tomorrow. If you're not worried about what will happen to you tomorrow, if you don't need the money, don't save it. But if you're sure that tomorrow you'll need the money for school fees, for medical, for anything, then better save it today because it will save you tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Edgars. I think that is a very good, that can be someone's life slogan, really, when they want financial discipline. Save me today so that I can save you tomorrow. Each time that rings a bell, you just have to do the needful, do the right thing. But it has been so nice having you. Thank you so much for this insightful discussion about saving. I believe 1 or 2 people or someone really has picked a leaf. I, for one, have really picked a leaf there. Very important and very insightful things there that you have talked about in regards to the saving culture and just the plan alone, and then the importance of saving. You also talked about one thing that really caught my eye, especially in this day and age where people are educated and everyone is looking for what to do instead of doing something and then the money will find you. I think that is very important because without that, we don't have anywhere to start saving. Sure. Well, it has been really good. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
And it has been really nice to have you on the weekend edition this evening. I believe you have really picked something from saving. Saving will save us a great deal. Save the money so that the money can actually save you tomorrow. That is also a very nice slogan that I personally am going to pick up for my financial life. And I really hope that you have a wonderful evening. I am Nora Sende. Until the next time, I'll see you again on the weekend edition. Take care.